everyone.
Morning!
So are you ready to hop into our next destination?
Yes!
So by the way, I am CJ Gomez and I am one of your reporters for this morning. So without further ado, let's proceed to the next destination. So our next destination is the beautiful country of Malaysia. So Malaysia is known for its rich in cultural heritage, breathtaking views, and of course their mouth-watering foods. And also they are known for being one of the Islam countries in Asia. So today, we will be discovering the beautiful place of Malaysia. So let's start with their national flag. So this is the national flag of Malaysia. It consists of 4 colors: the red, white, blue, and yellow. So the white denotes purity, blue signifies unity of the Malaysian people, red represents bravery, and then yellow represents the royal color indicating sovereignty of Malay rulers. So these 14 stripes represents the 13 states of Malaysia, and then the 14th stripe is the federal territories of Malaysia. So the 13 states are Johor, Kedah, Kelantan, Malacca, Negeri Sembilan, Pahang, Penang, Perak, Perlis, Sabah, Sarawak, Selangor, Terengganu, and then the 14th one is the federal territories of Malaysia. And that are Kuala Lumpur, the national capital of Malaysia, and then Labuan, an island territory of Malaysia, and then Putrajaya, the federal administrative central of Malaysia. So that moon or crescent moon represents the official religion sa Malaysia, which is Islam. And then kanang 14 stars, 14 Napolitan stars symbolizes na sa unity sa 13 states nga kung dikuan din yung galing na katong tulo ka federal government na territories. So the flag was first raised on September 16, 1963 when the Federation of Malaya, North Borneo or Sabah, Sarawak, and Singapore united to form Malaysia. So kaning North, Sabah, o Sarawak ay muna siya wala sa taon nagsakop na siya sa British. So kaning Federation of Malaya muna siya kaning saka state or saka lugar na kanang murag free bitaw ang independence ang Malaysian people, like wala na siya nasakop. And then sa unang panahon kay wala mo to na sabon pa man ang Singapore sa Malaysia, wala pa sila na mislod. So wala siya ang first na raise ang flag sa Malaysia. So the designer of the national flag of Malaysia was Muhammad Hamzah. So Muhammad Hamzah was an architect working for Public Works Department in Johor Bahru. So the flag was designed in the year 1949. A national flag design competition was held. So in the year 1949, murag national competition sila nga held like competition sa design or hindi mo siya design sa sa Malaysian flag bag or nasa competition tapos ang madaog nato kay mo na dahil ang gamiton nga flag sa Malaysia. So ang team ni Muhammad Hamzah sila ang nakadaog. So muna to ang next slide. So muna siya ang kanang flag nga ilang design first. Nag-consist lang siya of 11 ka states kaya so na 11 naman ka states like kung na 11 na po siya then pagka ng player, kung nagbuklod na ang ilang ka region, ay nagpuno ang katong Singapore, kung puno ka, kalipat ka region, kung na bago na ilang flag, yung agan, kung tulong ka state, kung 14 ka strike, ang pointed, one pod ang sa star pod kay, nemo siyang 14. So the flag is widely displayed during the national celebrations, particularly in Malaysia's Independence Day, on August 31 and Malaysia Day on September 16. So kung there is sa Philippines, ang ato ang display ang atong flag during Independence Day natin in 12. So sa ilapot, mas display ang flag in August 31, kaya mo po na ilang Independence Day kasi sa pagkasapot nila sa British. And then, the proper etiquette is observed when handling the flag, including not allowing it to touch the ground and ensuring it is displayed correctly. So, pareha po sa ito ang flag na dapat dili kanang sumbat, dili mahulog ang flag, dili masamyat, dili mabalik ang ilang pagka-display. Pura po rin. And then, the Hari Alur dinalang muna siya ang bawal sa national flag sa Malaysia. Hari Alur dinalang. It was celebrated every year. This day honors the national flag and promotes patriotism among Malaysians. Then, so fun fact, kanang flag sa Malaysia kay nakaabot na siya sa space. It was brought by a Malaysian astronaut named Sheikh Zafar Zafur. So he was the first Malaysian astronaut aboard the Soyuz CMA-11 spacecraft. And that would be all.
It's national The national anthem of Malaysia is titled Negaraho, which translates to My Country. Negaraho was adopted as the national anthem in 1987, the year of Malaysia independence from British colonial rule. The melody of Negaraho was derived from a popular tune known as La Salette, composed by the French musician Pierre-Jean de Baranger. This tune became the state anthem of Perak, a Malaysian state in the 19th century, and was later adopted as the national anthem. So, the composer of national anthem is Pierre-Jean de Baranger. So, he is a prominent French poet and chansonnier who enjoyed great popularity and influence in France during his lifetime, but faded into obscurity in the decades following his death. So, he was born on August 19, 1780 at Paris and France, and he died on July 16, 1857, Paris, France. And the lyricist is a Saiful Bari. Saiful Bari was an Indonesian saxophonist, violinist, and bandleader, composer, and songwriter, active in Indonesia and Malaysia during the 1950s and 1960s. He was born on September 19, 1924 at Payakumbuh, and died on December 5, 1976 in Tokyo, Japan. So, ano siya lyrics sa ilang national anthem, which is Negaraho. So, Negaraho, which means my country, and the Tompanya, which means Tanah Tompanya Daraho, which means the land where my blood is shed. And Rakyat, Hidup Bersatu, dan Mako. The people live united and progressive. And peace. So, respect. When the anthem is played, Malaysians stand at attention as a mark of respect. It is customary place the right hand over the heart when singing the anthem. So, same regards sa Philippines. And the patriotism is the anthem fosters a sense of patriotism and belonging among Malaysians, irrespective of their ethnic and cultural background. So, Nicaragua continues to be cherished and revered national symbol, encapsulating the spirit and identity of Malaysia. The national anthem symbolizes national pride, unity, and aspiration of the Malaysian people, reflecting their shared history and cultural heritage.
Meaning niya ni Tal. Hello everyone, I am the reporter of the national language of Malaysia. Sa Malaysian or Malay, salamat pagi sa masayang nawan makagasa kung saan day Malaysia.
The indigenous languages of Malaysia belongs to the Mon Khmer and Malayo-Polynesian family.
So, ang Mon Khmer are large family spoken throughout the mainland in Southeast Asia. And the Malayo-Polynesian languages are a subgroup Austronesian language with approximately 385.5 million speakers.
So as you can see, the members of the Mon Khmer family are Kasi,
The member of the Mon Khmer family are the Mon or the Myanmar, Khmer from Khmer, Vietnamese, Mowa, and Kasi. And the Malayo-Polynesian languages are area in here in the Southeast Asia. Yes.
so the national or official language is Malay, which is the mother tongue of the majority Malay ethnic group. The main ethnic groups within Malaysia are the Malay people, Han Chinese people, Tamil people, with many other ethnic groups represented in smaller numbers, each with its own languages.
If you ask why is it there are many languages spoken in Malaysia, it is because Malaysia is a multilateral multi-ethnic society. That's why
We can also speak in Chinese and Tamil. The largest native languages spoken in East Malaysia are the Iban, Musunik, and Kadasan languages. English is widely understood and spoken within the urban areas of the country.
sa Malaysia, ang kuwan po nila, mas makasapot sila kung gusto niya pa nila English because English is widely understood because mao ang ginatulog ko sa mga schools.
The English language is a compulsory subject in primary and secondary education. It is also the main medium of instruction within most private colleges and private universities. Malaysia contains speakers of 137 languages, ang 41 niya which are found in Peninsular Malaysia. So here is the National Language Act of in 1963 to 67, Malay Act of the Bahasa Kebangsaan 1967
dapat ang Malay mao na ni siya ang ilaang mother tongue o mao ilang gamiton most of the time. So, isa lang akong example na ni mao ni siya ang kanang Jawi alphabet. It is a way to write Malay and Indonesian with a version of Arabic alphabet. It is one of the official scripts in Brunei. It is used in religious and cultural administration in Malaysia.
Hello everyone, I am Eva Alves and I am here to report the national greetings of Malaysia. So there are tulo ka po ethnicities sa Malaysia which are the Malay, Chinese, and Indian. So first is Malay. So ang hello or hi sa Malaysia is hello or hi ra. And ang how are you is apang kabar. Good morning is selamat pagi. Good afternoon is selamat tinghari. Good evening is selamat petang. Good night is selamat malam. Bye is selamat tinggal or bye-bye. So Chinese is hello sila is ni hao. How are you is ni hao ma. Hello everyone is the way hao. Good morning is zhao shang hao. Good afternoon is xiao wu hao. Good evening is wan shang hao. And good night is wan. Sa Indian, namaste is hello. Dhanyavad is thank you. Apkesihan is how are you. Subprabhat is good morning. Shab Dopahar is good afternoon. And good evening is Shab Sandhya.
So now let us move on to the currency of Malaysia. So first, let us know what is a currency. So currency is a medium of exchange for goods and services. In short, it is money in the form of paper and coins, usually issued by a government and generally accepted at its weight at its face value as a method of payment. So in short, currency daw is the one we use to buy products or trade goods and services efficiently. So since we are talking about Malaysia, let us move on and discover what is the currency of Malaysia. So currency of Malaysia. The Malaysian ringgit is the currency unit of the Malaysian currency with the code MYR. Ringgit have banknotes worth RM100, RM50, RM20, RM10, RM5, RM1, and 50 cent, as well as 20 cent, 10 cent, and 5 cent coin. So, the Malaysian ringgit daw, ang currency sa Malaysia is Malaysian ringgit. Ang code niya is MYR. So, di ba ang Philippines kaya ang Philippine peso kay PHP, ang sa Singapore dollar kay SGD. Sa Malaysia naman kay Malaysian ringgit nila kay MYR. Dayon so ang banknote sa Malaysia or ang ilahang mga kwarta kay mo ni siya kani RM100, RM50. Tapat na siya RM1, mo ni siya ang mga papel nila nga kwarta. While ang 50 cent taman sa 5 cent kay mo ni siya ang mga coins nila nga kwarta. So ang symbol sa currency sa Malaysia is RM. So, di ba sa Philippines, katong P nga na ay bagis-bagis. Then sa Singapore dollar kay S, then na ay dollar na sign. Sa kuan naman, sa Malaysia naman kay RM ang ilahang kuan, ilahang nakabutang sa ilahang kwarta. Dayon. So, a little backstory. So, before we move into this topic, a little backstory lang sa name nga ringgit. So, it is derived from the Spanish silver money which was widely used in ancient times. So, ang ringgit was officially adopted or accepted as the proper name for the Malaysian currency in August 1975. So, earlier, money was known as the dollar in English and ringgit in Malay. So, sa una day, ang ringgit sa Malaysia or ang ilahang currency kay dollar dapat nilang ginagamit. Pero it was changed in 1993 and napulihan ORM. So now guys, if you're wondering kung sa'y tawag ng mga people showcasing national heritage, important historical figures, and cultural icons. So ang bignan daw kay dili lang siya simple, but it is a means of identifying and differentiating man ang sa value sa money. So ang Malaysian currency kay na siya'y tawo nga nakabutang sila. Makikita na nato later. So ang tawo dito nga nakabutang is named Kuan. Is named Abdul Rahman. So he is tuwang ko Abdul Rahman. Pero ang tuwang ko is it is just a title of respect. So the man who's on all the banknotes of Malaysia. So he is the man sa tanang banknote sa Malaysia, yahang na mga nakabutang. So di ba sa tuwa kay lahi-lahi man sa 20 pesos, sa 100, na ito katawo, na isang katawo, na ito katawo, ingana, di ba? Sa Malaysia naman kay lahi, kay na siya, isa na din siya katawo sa tanang banknote sa Malaysia. So Abdul Rahman was born on 24 August 1895 and died on April 1, 1960. So he was the young deferred one ago, or he who is made Lord, or also known as the supreme head of the federation or the paramount ruler. And he is the unofficially king of Malaysia. So later makita ninyo ang kwarta sa Kuan, ang kwarta sa Malaysia. Tanang kwarta sa Malaysia kay naay kanang hinani nga nakabutang gold coin and banknotes equal the image of a hibiscus. This is the national flower of Malaysia, or kung sa tawag pa nato gumamela. Next. So mao ni siya ang Kuan nawong sa kwarta sa Malaysia. This is the RM1 and RM5. So ang RM1 is mo ni siya katubangan niya kani mo ni ang hibiscus or kagumagala. This is to Kuan Abdul Rahman, then ang sa likod naman niya dili kay siya makaro guys no, pero ang kanang nasa yung likod kay Kuan na siya kite flying. Kite flying is the traditional sport in Kuan Malaysia. Dayon ang RM5 naman is still nasa tubangan ang hibiscus or ilahang national flower, and si Abdul Rahman, at ang sa likod naman niya is rhinoceros hornbill. Kanito hamon siya nasa likod sa RM5 na kwarta. It is the most magnificent hornbill species in the world. Next. So, ang kaning RM1, ang value niya sa Philippine peso is 12 pesos, 0.34 turba. Dahil kaning RM5 naman, ang value niya sa Philippine peso is 61 pesos, 0.8310.
Balik.
Ang RM5 naman, ang value niya sa Philippine peso is 61 pesos, 0.83100. Next. So, next is RM10. So, same gihapon ang front page ang front sa currency ay silang kwarta is na hibiscus flower and si Abdul Rahman. And ang likod naman niya is, this is the most iconic amongst all the flower. It is called the Rafflesia. It is the world's largest flower. So, it is found in the Malaysia's lush tropical jungle, which is one of the world's oldest living forests. So, mo ni ang Rafflesia. Dahil ang value sa RM10 sa Kuan, sa Philippine peso is 123 pesos, 0.6100. Dahil ang RM20 naman is nagyabot si Abdul Rahman and ang hibiscus flower. Then ang likod niya is Kuan, two of the most well-known species of sea turtles endemic to Malaysian waters. So this is the hawksbill turtle and the leatherback turtle. Then ang value sa RM20 sa Kuan, sa Lucky Valley. So, ang RM100 naman, ang value niya sa Philippine peso is 1,000 pesos, 1,235 pesos point 86,000. Dayon, next is na 4 series of currency in Malaysia. Like, ang currency sa Malaysia kay nag-evolve siya throughout the time. So, nag-consist siya 4 series which are first series, second series, third series, and fourth series, which is kanina mo na yung mga naw sa fourth series. So, now I will show you the picture of the difference of each series of banknotes in Malaysia. So, mo ni siya guys, ang sa first series. So, as you can see, dollar bang nasa ilang akuan, nasa ilang currency, dili pa RM. Ayun, naragyan po si consistent yun ni siya guys, kasi si Abdul Rahman ba, na ano ni siya sa tanang kwarta, sa throughout the years, na yun iya ang nawong. Ayun, naniyang nawong, then murag wala pa itong nawong sa flower, diri na itong hibiscus flower. Then, sa coins naman sa akuan, mo na siya RM1 sa una. Dayon kanay coins naman nila is ingani Malaysia, then kanay mo ni hibiscus flower, kanay dayon Taiwan sa tunga, and sa ang ato di ba kay tawong nasa kwarta nga piso si Rizal, ilaha may ingani ang tawong. Then kanay sa second series is murang mas nice na ang iyahang no, pero still dollar yapon nilang ginagamit kani $1. Then nagyapon si tuwang Abdul Rahman dayon ang sa kuan naman nila sa coins kay ang di ba ang flower sa first series na sila plain, ang flower sa second series kinana sa taas, then mas klaro na siya nga hibiscus flower siya. Dayon next. Sa third series naman is diri na nagsugod nila gigamit ang RM1 na sign kani. So siya na aram yapon siya. Dayon sa third series na coin is nanas na plain na pud ang one hibiscus flower. So katong sa fourth series di ba nasa taas sa tunga. Sa pagka third series ay second series nasa taas sa tunga. Pagka third series kay nanas sa daplin sa kuan sa coins. Dayon pagka sa last series or the fourth series which is 2012 is mao na nilang ginagamit ng kwarta karon. Wala, di ba, as you can see, sa first to third series, wala ang, sa paper nila ang kwarta, wala ang hibiscus na flower. Pero pagkakot sa fourth series, nana ang hibiscus na flower, dayon, nana po si, nalagyan po si Tuwang Abdul Rahman, dayon. Parehas na, wala na usap ang kwarta, ay ang coins nila sa third series o sa fourth series, nalagyan po ang flower.
Good morning everyone, I'm Mr. Asuna. I am going to report airports. Malaysia is a Southeast Asian country. Good morning everyone, I am Mr. Asuna. I am going to report airports of Malaysia. Malaysia, Southeast Asian country, known for its cultural diversity and economic vibrancy, boasts a network of airports and facilitating domestic and international travel. The first is Kuala Lumpur International Airport, is located in Sepang, Sulawesi. It's a primary international gateway to Malaysia. It's one of the busiest airports in Southeast Asia and serves as major hub for both passenger and private traffic. And Kuala Lumpur International Airport can facilitate over 70 million passengers per year. Next is Penang International Airport, situated on Penang Island. This airport serves the northern region of Malaysia, including the popular tourist destination of Penang. Airport hosts both domestic and international routes. International flights contributing significantly to the island's tourism industry. And Penang International Airport, it can carry around 70 million passengers per year. Next. Langkawi International Airport, located on Langkawi Islands. This airport serves as a vital transportation hub. Tourists, pictures, archipelago, takeovers, connections to various touristic destinations and international flights, primarily between Malaysian travelers and Langkawi International Airport has approximately 3 million passengers per year.
Next is Kota Kinabalu International Airport, serving the Skyways Sabah on the island of Borneo. This airport is a main gateway to the Malaysian Borneo region. It facilitates both domestic and international travel, supporting tourism and business activities in Sabah. This Kota Kinabalu International Airport is the second busiest airport in Malaysia after the Kuala Lumpur International Airport. In terms of passenger movements and aircraft movements, and the third busiest in terms of cargo handle. Next is the Kuching International Airport. Started in Sarawak on the island of Borneo. Kuching International Airport connects the region to domestic destination and selected international routes. It plays a crucial role in promoting tourism and economic development in Sarawak. Kuching International Airport is the fourth busiest airport in the Malaysia.
So good morning everyone, I am your tour guide for today. I am Jeannie Joy Tagalagan. Let's hop on to our next destination, which is the capital city of Malaysia. The capital city of Malaysia is Kuala Lumpur City. Kuala Lumpur City is the official federal territory of Kuala Lumpur, or commonly known as KL. It is the national capital of Malaysia as well as its largest city. That's why it became the city capital of Malaysia, because it's the largest city in Malaysia, which is in Kuala Lumpur. Kuala Lumpur is the cultural, financial, and economic center of Malaysia and home of the Parliament of Malaysia and the official residence of Malaysian King Yang di-Pertuan Agong in the Istana Negara. So why is this name Kuala Lumpur? As shown in the picture, there are a river, kung klaro sa inyo ha, river na siya, which is confluence of two rivers, which is the Gombak River and the Klang River. Kuala Lumpur was founded on 1857 at the confluence of the Gombak and Klang Rivers, as I've said earlier. Mga to siya ang duwa ka rivers na nag-confluence sa Kuala Lumpur, which is the Gombak River and the Klang River. In English, the name Kuala Lumpur literally means muddy confluence. Why it is called muddy confluence? Muddy means lapok and confluence means the conjoint of two rivers in one place. The venture into the muddy confluence started when a member of the Selangor royal family hired in the prospectors to open tin mines in the Klang Valley. The Journal of the Malayan branch of the Royal Asiatic Society states that Raja Abdullah, who was involved in the Klang War, founded Kuala Lumpur aside from also opening a tin mines river and had introduced the Chinese into the region. So ang mo gitawag siya og muddy confluence, or ang ngalan nga Kuala Lumpur is Kuala means mud and Lumpur means a confluence of two Abdullah bin Raha or Jaafar. So, yung name is Raja Abdullah bin Raja Jaafar. Siya ang first na nakakita sa adopting the ethno-nationalist narrative. Kuala Lumpur's current official tourism website states Kuala Lumpur was founded in 1857 by Raja Abdullah sa Klang River. So, another fun fact of Kuala Lumpur is known, have five known capitals, known for its dates. First is Kuala Lumpur is the capital of Malaysia. The next is Kuala Lumpur means Madi or Madi Estuary or Madi Pagsuwes. Akong ano ganyan, i-state ka lang niya mo. Ito siyang Madi Pagsuwes kung siyang name mo siyang Kuala Lumpur. The next is Kuala Lumpur is home of the tallest twin towers. Kung nakabantay mo kung tagas kayo mga twin towers na nasa dalas kung ano, ito siya ang twin tower na nakalocate siya sa Kuala Lumpur. The next is Kuala Lumpur is one of the seven wonders of the tatanan-tanan sa kalibutan. So, isa sa seven wonder cities. Then, next is sa Kuala Lumpur, napuyo ang king sa Malaysia. That would be all. Thank you.
Good morning everyone, I am Mike de la Cruz and we have the next topic which is the national and traditional dress of Malaysia. First one is the Baju Melayu. Baju Melayu is a traditional Malay costume for men originated from the port of Malacca, Philippines, and it is traditionally worn by men in Brunei, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, especially in Sumatra and Kalimantan, southern Philippines and southern Thailand. It is formal form of Baju Melayu is the national dress of Malaysia and Brunei, typically worn during official events and functions. So, state theory na napoy nag-assault of Baju Melayu sa southern Philippines, which is ang atong mga Muslim brothers there sa Philippines, typically in Mindanao. A basic combination of Baju Melayu attires comes from two main parts. So the first is the main baju or any young long sleeve, and the second one is the siluar or any fitted na trouser. So ang alam na yung kalog is sumpo o iniyahang murag malog is samping. Samping is a woven short sarong cord over the baju usually made from sungkit. The samping is intricately tied, can be accessorized with a brooch or even earrings. So, ang tawag sa kalog is sungkok, baju, and samping, and siluar. So, the next one is the tangsuit. Chinese men in Malaysia wear a dress called a tangsuit. Tangsuit is a type of a jacket with a collar and a knot at the belt. It is mostly of floral motifs. So tangsuit is a type of jacket that is originated from dynasty of China. It is a dujing, which is a Chinese-style jacket that buttons down front and the mandarin collar. The tangsuit is mostly worn on special occasions such as Chinese New Year, wedding ceremonies, or important events. It has come a formal dress in Chinese culture and it is known for its elegant and traditional design. The tangsuit had a significant influence on the clothing style of other Asian countries such as Japan, North Korea, South Korea, and Vietnam. So the next one is the kurta. Indian men wear the kurta, a knee-length collarless shirt that is adorned or pastel colors. Nowadays, kurtas are also made out of full fabrics and worn with a loose trouser
with a sleeve at the waist called pajama. Indian men also wear sherwani, lungi, and dhoti. Kurta is a collarless shirt or tunic that originated in Southeast Asia and is now worn worldwide. It's a long loose fitting shirt that falls below or just above the knees that can be worn by both men and women. Kurta is often paired with churidar or a loose fit salwar. Kaning kurta kay mura siya kanang unisex na dress sa India.
So, good morning everyone. I'm Corinne Mabayan and let us be learning about the traditional dress of women in Malaysia.
First is the Bajipurong. Malay women wear the Bajipurong. Bajipurong is a knitted blouse worn over a long skirt known as sarong. The blouse is long sleeved and usually colorless, while the sarong has
Baju kurung is a traditional attire of Malays and traditionally worn by a woman in Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, and southern Thailand. This type of traditional attire is the national dress of Brunei and Malaysia. In Indonesia, this dress is also worn as a Bulan attire on the island of Sumatra, particularly by the ethnic Malay and Minangkabau women. In the line or with the changes in the cotton shade, to produce a more modern and creative design, baju kurung is also decorated with embroidery, beads, and skins. The material to produce baju kurung also changed. Now there's a wide selection of materials including satin, organza, chiffon, batik, linen, and more. These changes are made to suit the concentration or the events to be attended in addition to trying to imitate the style of our cuts that made the event look more elegant. There are now more inspirations of baju kurung and it's known as baju kurung modern. The modern baju kurung commonly uses pretty colors and geometric patterns. In line with the changing times, various fashion styles and modern design baju kurung has been accepted by the community. The designs of the baju kurung is now more contemporary but still retains original features. So there are 5 versions of baju kurung that are most popular. All 5 of these versions were developed in Malay Peninsula and were presented as Malaysia's intangible cultural heritage. The first is the baju kurung Teluk Bilang. Teluk Bilang style has a long collar and a neckline stitch. It varies forms of embroidery known as matalan, dulang bilog, or insang palit. Next is the baju kurung Sikap Musa. It's almost identical to baju kurung Teluk Bilang except in the name. It was originally from Teluk Bilang. Sikap Musa style has a standing collar with rows for 5 buttons, including 2 buttons for the collar. The collar is only one single wire. This style of baju kurung is believed to have received influence from India and Malaysia. Next is the baju kurung Musda. It's believed to have been influenced by Thailand, as the style resembles a short blouse worn in southern Thailand. It is made short to the level of the hips and is usually worn with batik clothes
characterized due to the replacement of the sarong with the use of plants. This style was inspired by the Pirapur and Assyrians, whose like Malay men's Baju Bilayo, pants are worn with something or of early styles. The Pirak style is a color with Sinang style and resembles Asines women's clothing. Next, women's.
Next is cheongsam. The Chinese woman wore the cheongsam, a one-piece dress with a collar. They look definitely close with small clips or tails of glitters. It sometimes can have slits on the sides as it's made with soft fabric such as silk.
The cheongsam is especially popular around the time of the Chinese New Year and other formal gatherings. So, cheongsam or zante, also known as kipao, are sometimes referred to as the motoring gown. It's a Chinese dress worn by women which signifies the reform. The ethnic clothing of Manchuria. The cheongsam is most often seen as a longer, fitting one-piece garment with a standing collar that has typically left over right, opening at two side slits, and embellished with Chinese frog fasteners on the label and the collar. It was developed in the 1950s and evolved in shapes and designs over the years. It was popular in China from 1950s to 1960s during the period of era and was popularized by Chinese Chinese and Chinese woman in China. Although the cheongsam is sometimes seen as traditional Chinese clothing, the cheongsam has evolved with times as it responds to the contemporary modern life.
Next is the saris. Ages in Malaysia is great as it elsewhere in the world where saris are usually worn with a typical of a similar shape. It is wrapped around the body so that the embroidery and hangs over the shoulder, while the petticoat is worn above the belly button and worn to the side, which can be made from a wide variety of materials.
So the Punjabi salwar is popular women from modern India and is a long stunning for double trousers with a matching shoe. The fabric imported from India made of the best quality silk used in making saris. There are two layers to a sari. A long bright colored dress decorated with color, blue threads, sewn net, making it look more attractive and rough. Piece of straight fabric with around and under reach, ties across the body around the waist. Women with a high standing will have their clothing made from wool and seldom with elaborate
Good morning everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the traditional dance of Malaysia. First, originating from Kelantan Maklong traditional dance. We are here that incorporates dance and chant. This event stories from ancient Malay folklore and accompanied by traditional music and chant. Next, Jagat. Jagat is a popular traditional dance in Malaysia, particularly in Jamala. It is known for its lively and warm and social gatherings and weddings. Jagat dancers move in pairs following is a simple choreography graceful movement. Next, Zapin. Zapin is a traditional Malay dance that originated from the Malay Peninsula. It is characterized by dramatic footwork, hand movements, and graceful gestures. Zapin is often performed during festive occasions and cultural events, accompanied by traditional music instruments such as the gam, a type of blues and drums. Next, during Parang traditional ballet performance art that combines singing, chanting, and synchronized movements. It involves a group of performers, typically seated in a circle, who sing and clap rhythmically while a lead singer recites poet words known as pantomime. Para is often or during special events and celebrations. Next, Galing-galing. Galing-galing is a traditional dance performed at weddings and other social occasions. The background of Reforma is Saba are especially fond of art excel in this dance. Next,
These genres include Asli, the basic Indian modern music. Asli is known for its improvisational style, derived from the Gandhar Sayam genre. It features the violin as a central instrument, accompanied by the traditional instrument. So, Ramgay, Inam, so these genres are associated with social dances and the singing of panto, while each has its great and melodic patterns. Inam and Chulkit are typically played at the master stage. So instruments commonly used include the violin, accordion, rebana, and brass mandolin. So, Dandang Sayang. So, song of occasion, sung by multiple singers in Bantan, engaging in playful banter and improvisation. So, the lyrics often revolve around themes of romance and rise or wisdom, accompanied by instruments like the violin, drum, accordion, brass, drum, and tambourines. So, Hirondog, believed to have Portuguese and Indonesian origins. Hirondog features instruments like the ukulele, string guitar, flute, banjo, cello, double bass, rebana, obi, and accordion. So, Rizal. What rhymes with names of romance are commonly associated with Lower Malaysia. So, instruments used include the harmonium, bamboo, violin, guitar, tabla, tambourines, and maracas.
Hey everyone, my name is Jinpee. Traditional food of Malaysia. Malaysia is known for a multicultural diversity. This melting pot of culture has given Malaysians air of sharing each other culture, lifestyle, and food. Next, nasi melak, often considered Malaysia national dish. Nasi melak is a fragrant rice dish cooked in coconut milk and pandan leaves, typically served with anchovies, roasted pena, boiled egg, and cucumber slice, and sambal. Next, Sanghay.
traditional Malaysian side dishes like cucumber salad or hotdog. It's a beloved dish in Malaysia and is enjoyed by locals and visitors alike for rich aromatic flavors. Uwi dadar. Uwi dadar or simple dadar is a Uwi dadar. Uwi dadar or simple dadar is a popular Malaysian dessert or snack. It is essentially a rolled wheat filled with a sweet coconut and char kway chow is a stir-fried noodles dish made with flat rice noodles known as kway chow. Typically stir-fried with a variety of ingredients.
Good morning everyone. By the way, my name is Lenny and now let's proceed about traditional drink of Malaysia. Malaysia boasts a variety of popular drinks that reflects on diverse cultural heritage, and there are some favorites. First is Italy. The name literally translates cold tea in Malay, which refers to the unique method of preparing the drink. It is made by pouring the tea back and forth between two streamers from high drinking with Italia means ginger milk. Ginger is a traditional herbal drinking throughout East Asia, Southeast Asia, Southeast Asia, and West Asia. Usually, people use ginger root to make the drink, and this Malaysian style ginger is no different. Eco White Coffee. Eco White Coffee originates from Eco Malina's unique style of coffee that involves roasting coffee beans with palm oil, margarine, then serving the brewed coffee with condensed milk. This is a smaller, creamier coffee with a distinctive environment or a lighter color compared to traditional black coffee. Milo ice. Milo is a locally milk powder makes a hot or cold water milk. It's very popular and often served as a snack. So, Milo is very popular in Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore, where the brand name is synonym to the chocolate flavored drinks. Milo has a 19% market share in Malaysia, and Malaysian percent to be the world's largest consumer of Milo. Rose syrup milk, a preparation drink made from evaporated milk, condensed milk, or aerosol gels, ingredients, and acidic drink.